Hey folks, Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very interesting video which is about what's up with the IT sector. Because all the major players in this space have already come up with the results. So I thought why not do a quick analysis about how their profitability has gone up or down, what about their revenue numbers, what about the guidance, but in a power-packed video. But which companies have I taken into consideration? Based on market cap, I've taken the top 5 companies. Which are these? It's TCS, Infosys, HCL Technologies, Wipro and LTI Mindtree. So before diving on to the analysis, let me thank Chidambaram and Saurav for the wonderful comments. And Saurav has also given me an award for coolest CEO of the year. Kya baat hai? Now let's get started with the very first one, and which is TCS, and for that have a look at this. Now if you see here, their revenue from operations is almost flattish, 0.4% growth QOQ, but net profit has gone down by 2.8%. If you check about the segment wise data QOQ basis, only one segment which has shown a negative growth, all others are with a positive growth. Acha, by the way, throughout this entire video, we are going to focus on QOQ rather than the YOY numbers. Now, for any IT company, it's not only about the financials. We have to check what is the guidance that they have given and any con call summary points that we should look into. As far as TCS is concerned, they never give any revenue guidance as such, but management says yes, we indicate that there could be certain pauses, there could be certain deferrals in the projects, and that is the reason why management believes that there are expected certain slowdowns, demand slowdowns, because of the overall macro concerns. But if when we checked out their con call, the summary or the key points of that could be something like this. The first one is that management believes that overall deal pipeline remains strong with healthy booking of USD $10.2 billion. Management also says that okay, overall there is a healthy book for the pipeline of projects, but as far as the small deals are concerned, they are being scrutinized pretty much in detail, and that is the reason why these are ramping up a bit slowly. Even if we are talking about deal cancellations, management says that there are no instances of deal cancellations as such, but overall, like management has said, it is slow but no cancellations. With that, what was the stock performance? Stock has been up by almost 4.1% from the day it gave the results to the date I shoot the video. So I can say it was a mixed bag result, but the results were a little bit better than expected. The second company that we are going to discuss is Infosys, and again for that have a look at this chart. If you see here, revenue from operations up 1.3%, net profit down minus 3.1%. But if you check out the segments overall, QOQ basis, there were two segments which showed a negative growth, but balance 5 were showing a positive growth. The biggest disappointment was the guidance that the company gave. Management sharply lowered the FY24 revenue guidance, and they have taken it to 1% to 3.5% on a year-on-year basis, again at a CC, that is a constant currency growth. But earlier the CC growth that was guided was 4% to 7%. So from 4 to 7%, zap, it has gone down to 1 to 3.5%, and that brought in a lot of disappointment on the street. In fact, even if you check out the con call, just giving you some highlight points, Q1 performance was below expectations. Management says that the deal pipeline remains healthy, but the salary hikes are still under consideration. Company is confident that EBIT margins will be around 20 to 22%. Management is pretty much confident about a lot of points, but even I'm confident that you like the video and also share this video with your friends. But what about the stock price? Before the results were declared, maybe a lot of people thought that okay, everything, all the bad is behind, and now the IT pack will start giving up good numbers that will be led by Infosys and whatnot. That could be the reason why 4 to 5 days prior to the result, this stock gave a sharp rally of almost 10%, and uske baad, it started going down, and from the day of result till today, the stock is down by 6.6%. The third stock is HCL Tech, and for that, have a look at this chart. Oh, if you see, ye lal rang everywhere. Revenue from operations down 1.2%, net profit down 11.3%. Of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of video, everything we are discussing is QOQ. As far as segments are concerned, 2 out of 3 segments have given negative numbers, negative growth, basically QOQ growth. And if I were to check about the guidance numbers now, this is something surprising. HCL Tech says they have a pretty strong guidance because they believe that FY24 USD revenue growth guidance would be around, FY24 USD revenue growth could be around 6 to 8%. That's a pretty strong guidance that HCL Tech has given. In the management con call, just again giving 2 3 highlight points, management believes that yes, technology and telecom verticals have stabilized, so they should ideally start to recover from the second quarter of FY24. Deal wins were down by almost 25% QOQ in the first quarter, but pipeline remained at all-time high, and that is the reason why management believes that because the pipeline is high, that could lead to stronger conversions in Q2 FY24. Management this time has decided to skip the management level increments, so I can say again for HCL Tech it is more of a mixed bag, and the stock is up by barely 0.5%. Let's go on to the fourth company, and that is Wipro, and for that have a look at this chart. Now if you see, everything is in red. Revenue from operations minus 1.5%, net profit minus 6.7%, everything QOQ. Segment wise also IT services down, IT products also down. So numbers definitely are not good, but what about the guidance? The guidance is also pretty vague, and they have given the guidance for the second quarter of FY24 rather than giving the next year guidance. And the guidance ranges from minus 2% to 1% in constant currency growth revenue terms. So guidance is again, pretty mixed, from a negative 2% to a positive 1%. But what were the con call highlights? Management says that yes, we believe that it could be a weak guidance in Q2, mainly because of the macroeconomic uncertainty point. But management also says on the other hand that yes, there are certain large deal signings, and that was the number that they have mentioned is 1.2 billion US dollars, which is up 9% on a year-on-year basis on a constant currency growth. Management is also optimistic about the overall deal flows, and again, so as far as Wipro is concerned, the numbers are not that great, but con call, the commentary that they have given is a little bit more on a positive side, and that is the reason why stock was, in a ups and downs. But ultimately, as I shoot the video, from the date of result declaration till date, the stock is up by 1.5%. Let's go on to the final one, which is LTI Mindtree, and for that, have a look at this chart. Now, if you see, revenue is flattish, but net profit is up by 3.4%. Whatever companies we discussed till now, LTI Mindtree has given the best net profit growth on a QOQ basis. As far as segments are concerned, 3 segments out of 5 are in red. Moving on with the guidance by the management has refrained from giving any guidance for FY24. Basically, they have not given any guidance for FY24. They have also said that a double-digit growth for financial year 24 seems to be a bit challenging. As far as the con call key points are concerned, first thing, they mentioned that yes, deal wins remain strong at USD $1.41 billion, which was up 16.9% year on year. Also, they said that yes, the overall deal pipeline is also very strong. They have also mentioned that clients' budgets remained intact, but because of slower decision making, the revenue conversion was definitely impacted, and it was also impacted because of the cuts in the discretionary spending. One more important point is that yes, management says that salary hikes will be done in July 2023 as planned, but the stock did not like the overall result. I mean, the street did not like the overall result. It was lower than expected, and that is the reason why stock was ultimately down by 5.8%. Well, coming on to the final summary of this entire video for the IT space, I believe number one, that all the companies said that yes, we have a strong pipeline. That was a positive point. But the overall performance remained muted. So performance wise, I feel it's a flattish to negative point. The overall guidance figures that the majority of the IT companies gave were not that great. So that is also, hinting out towards a flattish growth. All in all companies said that we believe that the macro factors have to be normalized first, then we will come up with good numbers. So not all the companies are very positive about macros. Everyone is waiting that macro factors should be good first, then we can present good numbers. But two more points that I would want to add up is that many times it happens that the actual numbers and the stock performance may not go hand in hand. What typically happens is that market checks whether the results were better than expected or were lower than expected. If it is lower than expected, then the stock reacts negatively. If they were better than expected, stock reacts positively. So it may happen that the numbers, the net profit numbers, the revenue numbers may have been good, but stock reacted negatively. Why? Because it was lower than expected. That is one more point that I wanted to add up. And one more last point is that always, whenever you're doing analysis of IT companies, you have to check what is the revenue guidance which has been given, especially for Infosys, because the revenue guidance given was not great at all. That was the reason why the stock saw a big beating. So if you want to know what all are other factors that have to be checked before analyzing and before finalizing the decision on buying of IT stocks, you have to check out a lot of other points. Which are those? For that, you can click here. And if you want to know more about Mahila Sanman Bachat Patra, you can click here. Till then, take care. Jai Hind. Bye bye.